Hello, I'm Mike Callahan, your host of the Reefer Madness Show. Today we're doing a product review and making some pot brownies. This machine, the Magical Butter Machine, is what allows us to extract the nutrients of the cannabis product and provide us with the materials we need to cook with. A couple of things about this packaging. Number one, it's really awkward. It opens from the bottom, which seems kind of ridiculous, with a couple of tabs here originally to hold it shut. So the top slides off, and this is what comes with it. Rubber glove, instruction book, a filter bag, and this is the machine itself. There's a number of different things you can make with it. The butter, the can of butter. You can make tinctures. You can make a number of different cooking oil, magical butter. And the key to it is the extraction process, the heating and the stirring that this device does. I've heard many good things about this from the people that I've spoken with that have used it. They say it's great. Now, the instructions confuse me a little bit. If you try this at home, it may confuse you too. So I want to help you avoid the mistakes that I made. I figured for my first time using it, I'd go with 1 cup. Now, so I put in a ½ an ounce of bud, threw in a cup of Everclear grain alcohol, and put the ingredients in, and then drop this unit into the machine, which has little blades here. And then it started cycling, but apparently I misread the instructions. Now, according to the instructions, you add between 1/4 and a ½ ounce of botanicals, which is the cannabis, per cup of grain alcohol, Everclear grain alcohol. And it says 1/4 to a ½ ounce of botanicals per cup. And then it says 2-5 cups, meaning 2 to 5 cups of the Everclear grain alcohol. Which I failed to understand. What I did was I figured I was going to start small, make a small batch. So I went ½ an ounce, and I used 1 cup of the grain alcohol. Little did I know, because of that, I am assuming this is what happened, that it didn't bring the level of the fluid up high enough to reach the blades. That's the only thing I can guess that went wrong. It seems to go down far enough. Maybe they should extend that a little bit. So what happened is I used 1 cup of grain alcohol, threw in ½ ounce of Blue Widow, great buds. So I put that together, closed the top, and followed by setting the temperature. Now, I wanted to come up with some tincture. And for tincture, it says press the temperature button and select 160, 160 degree temperature, and press the 4-hour time cycle for tincture. So I put the alcohol, put the buds in, put this together, all excited about what I'm going to come up with, and I set the button, lights light, thing whirs. 4 hours later, I come out all excited and looking at the machine. There's some wisps of smoke coming out of it, and open it up, and apparently, which the instructions didn't make clear, you should use at least 2 cups of the grain alcohol. I assume that's the reason it didn't work out at all for me. It ended up a bunch of dried out buds stuck to the bottom of the pan here, the unit, which I'm sure, hope it's not wasted. I'm sure I'll find something to do with it. But it's all been decarboxylated, decarboxylate your botanicals, which means heating up the buds to a temperature of at least 250 degrees for 30 minutes or more. And what that does is convert the THC acids in the plant to THC that your body can absorb for full effect. So I didn't do it right. I didn't follow the instructions. It's a little confusing. They could have made the instructions a little bit clearer, letting you know you need to use at least 2 cups of the Everclear it does sort of say that, but it's an easy mistake to make. I want you to learn from my mistakes. So now what I'm going to do is use this machine once again with the butter. I'm going to make some can of butter, which there's many different forms of cooking, and I am not a cook by any stretch of the imagination. We will have many cooks coming up in future episodes showing you the different cooking techniques and how cannabis can help treat your ailments. And I'm going to dump this out into my pan, and we'll start over again using the butter technique. Now, I'm going to try to do this again, hopefully the right way this time. Now, everybody I've talked to, I've heard great results. Everybody loves this machine. And so I assume, I know it was me that screwed up with the grain alcohol. So we're going to make some can of butter this time. I've got an ounce of the other half of the ounce of Blue Widow. We're going to put in the pan. We've preheated the oven to 250 degrees, and we're going to decarboxylate the cannabis, which is transforming the THC acids into THC. Now, I'm going to spread this out in the pan. Should I use a whole ounce? Oh man, I don't know. I'd like to use a whole ounce, but this is a test. I'm just going to go with a ½ ounce. Throw some foil on here. I'm glad I only used a ½ ounce the first time. But hey, trial and error. That's how we find out, right? I want to teach you folks at home how to do it the right way, and not my way, the wrong way. I'll get better at it. All right, so we've got this covered up. I'm going to pop it into the oven and for ½ an hour, decarboxylate it, and then we're going to be ready for the next step. All right, we've got the, just pull this out of the oven, 250 degrees for ½ an hour to decarboxylate it. And I made the same mistake again. I know, hard to believe. Quarter to a ½ ounce of botanicals per cup. And after that it says 2 to 5 cups. So we're doing 2 cups of butter. So, should have been an ounce. And what I'm going to do is just use the my mistake from before. We've got an ounce. Perfect. All right, so we've got to melt the 4 sticks of butter. And as I was saying, something very important to determine is the proper dosage for you. Depending on what you're talking about, they say don't try this at home. I say it's the only place to try it. Make sure, start small. If you make a batch of brownies, say like an 8x8 pan, cut it into 9 sliced pieces or whatever. The thing with edibles is it takes quite a while for the effects to kick in. It might take an hour, maybe 2 hours. So the important thing is to not eat a brownie. I'd start with half a brownie, give it an hour, hour and a half, see how that affects you. I wouldn't take a brownie, eat a brownie, and then half an hour later say, oh man, nothing's happened. Eat another one. Bad idea. If you've got a quality product, because the results, you just want to be careful. You don't want to overdo it and abuse it. You don't want to be couch bound and not be able to move and be paranoid. It kind of takes all the fun out of it. So start slow. Try to be consistent with your product and the amounts that you use, so you can try to evaluate the effect of the doses that you're going to be consuming. There's so many different varieties, so many different strains, so many different strengths. One batch of brownies, you eat one brownie and you're done for the day. A separate batch, maybe a different strain, may have very little effect, if any. What I'm going to do next is put the botanical products into the machine, and put this over here. All right, drop the bud. So we'll put this into the machine. All right, now we will pour in the butter. Like I say, I'm no expert at this. This is a first for me, but I do know all of the experts, and they will be coming onto our future shows to teach you the right way to do things. So this is a combination of product review and cooking lesson. Okay, in addition to the butter, it says 1 tablespoon of lecithin per cup. 2 cups, 2 tablespoons. So we've got our lecithin in there. And next, place the ingredients into the magic butter machine and secure the head. Here we go. Okay, pop it on there. Now, press the temperature button. I'm going to select, it says to select temperature of 160. All right, we got the temperature selected. I'm going to press the 2 hours butter button, and it will do its magic. The lights are blinking, letting me know it's doing its thing. All right, so hopefully we've got the ingredients right this time, and give it 2 hours, come back and see what we got. Thank you very much. See you in a few minutes. Well, it's been 2 hours. I know, time flies when you're having fun. Let's check out the results of our experiment. Dribbling. All right. Well, at least this time we've got something to work with, I think. Now the next process, or the next step in this process, is pouring this concoction into this filter bag to filter out the plant material. So I'm going to do that now. Ah, looks like puke. It smells like heaven. That's some good stuff. Wow. Okay, there's a bunch of stuff sticking to the sides of this. Try to get all of this stuff out of here as best I can. Come on, baby. Come on, daddy. Come on, hey. Nice, 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 nice. Now, it's in the filter bag, and they've got this weird-looking green rubber glove, which I guess serves its purpose. It's a little tight fit, sort of like O.J. Simpson, but I can get this glove on. All right, so we pick this bag up, and you use this to filter out the particles. Oh yeah, look at that, nice. Squeeze it, and just squeeze and, ooh. Strain this stuff out. You don't want to waste any of it, so you just gently squeeze it out. Well, this is a far better result so far than I suffered from my last experience with that alcohol stuff, but you know, you don't know till you try, right? You're just squeezing out the top. Okay. Shake it down, shake it down. Goop, shake it down. Okay, we still got a lot of green stuff on the bottom. Maybe if I twist this, keep it from shooting back up the top, and just sort of like milking a cow, I guess, huh? You don't want to rush things. Well, I do want to rush things, but it's not going to give you the best results. You're getting there. So this is a result of 1 ounce of prime bud, Blue Widow, and the next one maybe I'll try the Girl Scout cookies. Girl Scout cookies and brownies, that seems to be a good combination to go together. All right, for the sake of expediency, we've got squeezed out most of the liquid butter. Nice green, I'm dribbling everywhere. Hate when that happens. And so we're going to put this aside and give it one more squeeze. And I think we've got some of the makings of great batch of butter, can of butter. So at this point, I'm going to put this aside, take my gloves off, and take the next step in a moment. Thank you. This is what we get out of it. It is a little over a cup, cup and a quarter. And this brownie mix calls for, okay, 1 stick of unsalted butter. So we're going to go 1 stick of butter is a 1/2 cup. Right, 1 stick is a 1/2 cup. So I'm gonna pour 1/2 cup of this magic elixir into this bowl. Now, when they say a 1/2 cup, they say a 1/2 cup. I say, in for a dime, in for a dollar. You might as well, you go through all this time and effort, you might as well make it a kick-ass batch of brownies. I say. That's what I'm thinking. Keep going. But the important thing to remember is your dosage. You don't want to eat a brownie and be totally wasted for the, well, maybe you do. So the important thing to remember is little at a time. See how it affects you, see what makes you feel comfortable. So I get a little heavy on the juice. So, okay, we got the butter in there, 3 eggs. One, two, you can count that high. 1, 2. Three eggs. Chocolate chips everywhere. All right, mix that in there. Now, because I added the extra butter, they say, I hope the cooking results come out okay. I mean, you do what you can. It's experimentation. Have some fun. So we'll mix this all up and throw it in the oven, cook it up, and see how it, see what we got. There you go. Now, in the concept of being efficient and trying to make the most of everything I do, while I was at the grocery store, I happened to come across a package of Reese's peanut butter and chocolate chunk cookie mix, which calls for a butter recipe as well. So I figured while we're here in the studio, we've got the oven cranking, might as well make a batch of cookies too. But let's finish up this brownie mix for starters and take it from there. Okay, we've got it all mixed up. I've put it into this brownie pan. Now the recipe calls for an 8x8 pan, a smaller pan, to make it thicker brownies. But my thought process is, I put it into a bigger pan. I put some kick-ass buds in here. And this is going to be a good batch. So with a bigger pan, the brownies will be thinner, but I can cut them up into more pieces. And then it's easier to regulate the dosage than just grabbing a big thick brownie. And anything you want to do, medical marijuana, you want to start slow, work your way up. know what you're dealing with, know what you're ingesting, and make it a safe and enjoyable experience. And I'm going to turn around, throw it into the oven, and while this is cooking, we're going to start on a batch of cookies. And we already know I'm not very good at following directions. So, having said that, the recipe for this Reese's peanut butter and chocolate chunk cookies, they say 3 tablespoons of butter, softened, not melted. Well, guess what? Too late for that. It's already been melted. But it's starting to harden up now. So I'm going to put that in first. Tablespoons, not to be confused with teaspoons. Okay, this is our butter that we've got. It's starting to stiffen up. So it says 3, 1, 2, 3. I never was good at math. So 3 and a half. That's 4 and a half, close enough to 3. We'll open this up, put this in with our supposedly 3 tablespoons of butter, not to be confused with the 4 and a half that I used, and 2 tablespoons of water. And we'll stir it up and hope we don't get any extra butter on this thing as we stir it. The reason I got into medicinal marijuana, it's a funny story. Well, not funny, but I've learned quite a bit. A couple of years ago, I was in a crosswalk in Beacon Street in Boston, and I got a victim of a hit and run. And fortunately, I got the license plate number. Unfortunately, she happened to be married to an internationally known Boston sports celebrity. So the police and the court systems didn't want to go forward with the prosecution or criminal charges, but the constant pain and this helps tremendously. That's why I initially got interested in medicinal marijuana to help alleviate the pain, the insomnia, the many symptoms that result in trauma, pain, all that fun kind of stuff. So we got this mixed up pretty well, and it says to drop dough by rounded teaspoons 2 inches apart. Well, it says teaspoons, I say tablespoons. Come on, come on, come on, come on, give it to me. Get out of there. Get. Okay. You know what? Rounded, squared, I don't care. Just get out of the gosh darn spoon. These are going to be some funny looking cookies. Especially an hour after you eat them. They're going to be even funnier looking. Come on, get out of there. This isn't working so well. You know what? Screw that. Let's pick it up. Globs. Globs dealing with this stupid spoon. A little impatient, but more efficient. Round it out. I wash my hands. The germs will be killed in the baking process. Let's get this thing, move this thing on. Let's get going here. Anxious. Now behind me, the brownies are cooking. They're 35 minutes. These were only supposed to take 10 to 12 minutes, but the way I'm making them, as big as I am, probably 15, 20. Oh, it's gonna be some good cookies. They're gonna be some big cookies. Big, good cookies. So, sometimes you just have to learn to ignore the directions. At your own peril, of course. So, just want to speed this up. Try to get clumps out there. Try to equalize them. Relatively the same sizes. Okay. That's good. Life is looking good. Come on, flatten them out. All right, so we got all the dough out of there. And some of these cookies are going to be bigger than others. Guess which one I'm going to be picking. there you go. Try to even them out. And let's get this show on the road. Keep on rolling. I'm going to turn around, throw these in the oven, and see you in a few minutes. All right, the cookies, the brownies, they're all done. What am I going to do with this extra butter? So I bought this little silicone mini muffin tray, or whatever the heck you want to call it. And I figure I will pour the extra butter and stir it up, make sure it's consistent, and just fill these little things right up. And what that will do is give you a nice little collection of butter pats that you can use. Once you start playing with this and you know how much is enough, what's enough, how much is enough, you might, say, geez, put in 3 or 4 of these little things. It's just the right amount for this batch of brownies. So this will give you the ability just to have little doses, little butter doses, little magical butter doses. It's not a bad thing. No. So, okay. All right, so that's done. We get rid of that butter before it solidifies. Now we've got the brownies and the cookies here. Just cut them up however you want to. So I've got, let's see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 times 3, 15 brownies, some bigger than others. And over here we've got the cookies, and perfect. Perfect. This is going to be great. Now there's so many different things you can do once you've got this into a concentrate form. You can use it for sauces. If you like lasagna, whatever you want to make, you can add this to it, and whatever you want to make, medicate, life is good. Thank you for joining us. And we'll let you know how these turn out in the next show. I'd love to do one now. I've got to drive home. Don't abuse the privilege of having this wonderful plant, this medication. Don't drive stoned. So I'm going to take this home. I'm going to try one. And we'll let you know how this turned out in the next episode. Be sure to tune in. Thanks. I'm your host, Mike Callahan, with the Reefer Madness Show. Thank you for joining us.